Greetings, our Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. This is L.D. Smith, the watchman on the wall. Israel, your watchman. Israel, it is our Sabbath. Grab that King James. But first and foremost, we want to give a shout out to the whole family. Happy Sabbath, Israel. Now that being said, we're going to go forward into our teaching tonight. Israel, we have a fine teaching as always, and I always ask you guys to think about the wording, listen to what you're saying, listen to what you're reading, and I am more than confident that the Most High will give you an understanding of His Word. All right? Now that being said, we're going to go forward into our teaching. We're going to be talking about, this is going to be a dual teaching into one. We're going to be talking about knowledge, and we're also going to be dealing with how God deals with one man. All right, and I'm going to show you guys here how God deals with one man, and that still applies to this day because the Most High never changes. All right. Now that being said, we're gonna go forward because there have been a lot of chatter on our channel about you need to go get more knowledge and you need to read this book and that book. And as I said, my sisters and brothers, we don't go out and search anyone. But as you can see, we are always being seeked out by others. So that makes a statement by itself, you know. But anyway, we're gonna go forward into our teaching tonight, and we're gonna show you guys how the Most High never changes and how He does things. And God has a structure. The Most High has a structure that He have put in place, and that's what He follows. I mean, He doesn't change. Okay? Now, we're going to begin in the book of Genesis chapter 17, and we're going to deal with our one of our forefathers, Father Abraham. All right, we're gonna start off with him, and then we just go continually snowball on down, and then we're gonna get down to the book of Ezekiel. All right, and once we get there, you will understand what the teaching is all about. Okay, and you will also understand about what's all this chatter out here on the internet and all around and whatnot. You will find out that a lot of that is nothing but a bunch of bullshit. You know, but anyway, let's go forward into our teaching. We're at Genesis chapter 17, and this is about Abraham. We're going to read from verses 1 down to verses 5. Okay, it said, and when Abraham was 90 years old and 9, that the Lord appeared unto Abram, and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect, and I will make my covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thee exceedingly. Now God here is dealing with one man. He is talking to Abraham, and he is going to do all these things with one man. All right, now let's go forward here. Look what he says. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, as for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, with Abram, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. See that? Now God is going to use one man, and He's going to perform this act. Now remember, God never changes. No matter whether He goes on for hundreds of thousands of years or millions of years, God never changes His program. All right, now let's go a little further. Let's look at Genesis chapter 17. Let's look at verses 19. Now watch this right here. It says, and God said to Sarah, thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him, for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. See, now God is leaving one man going to another in a dispensation of time. Now He's going to deal with Isaac here. Okay, now Isaac is one man, because once he leaves Abraham, then he's gonna deal with Isaac. Okay, now God has said that he's gonna establish his covenant with Isaac and his seed. Okay, now let's go a little further. Let's go to Genesis 22, chapter 22. Now let's watch this right here, my brothers and sisters. Genesis chapter 22. Let's look at verses 7 through 17. Let's look at that. It says, "And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, my son. And he said, Behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Now, here I'm going to just tell you about the story here, then we're going to move on. God has told Abraham to sacrifice Isaac. Okay, now they're at the point now where they're up on the mountain. They didn't get all the firewood for the sacrifice to God, but God has already said that He is going to do what we just read it. He's going to establish His covenant with Isaac. Okay, now let's read verse 8. It says, "And Abraham said, My son, God will provide Himself a lamb for a burnt offering." So they went both of them together. And we're going to read on down here. I said we're going to read down to verse 17. It says, "And they came to the place which God had told him of, and Abraham built there an altar there, and laid wood in oil, and bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar up on the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand, and took a knife to slay his son. And the angel of the Lord called out of heaven, and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. And he said, Lay not thy hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou feared God, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, a ram caught in the thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered up for the burnt offering. Okay, let's jump on down, and we're going to look at verse. Let's jump down to here to verse 15 and 16. It says, And the angel of the Lord called unto Abraham out of heaven the second time, and said, By myself have I swore, said the Lord, for because thou hast done this thing, and hast not withheld thy son, that only son, that in blessing I will bless thee, and I will multiply thy seed, as the stars of the heaven, as the sand which is upon the seashore. And thy seed shall possess the gates of his enemy. Now, God here is still dealing with one man. But he asked him to offer up his only son, and he was going to offer him up to the Most High. And then the Most High said, because of that, everything after you're going to be blessed. All your seeds is going to be blessed, because God is still dealing with one man. Now, let's go a little further here. Let's go to Genesis 32. See, because we need to see what's transpiring here. And let me just say this right here. If you go on the internet, which I don't search the web, but I know different ones that do, and there's a lot of they have informed me that there's a lot of them out there that's talking about this, a lot of them talking about that, a lot of them talking about this. There's no organization at all. Everybody it's all in disarray. Everybody just doing their own thing. But see, but God, I'm showing you how God has set up structure